There is absolutely no way that the Fever can keep going on as they are and Caitlin Clark should stay. If this ends up being a thing where nothing changes, get rid of her. Or get away. Just get away, because at the end of the day, the Indiana Fever, as we've seen, do not have a scout. They do not have a scout. I repeat, they do not have a scout employed. Obviously, there are a lot of teams in the WNBA that don't have scouts. But I'm going to be honest here. At least with Cheryl Reeve looked overseas, at least Rashid Mazian has been around Europe and he knows that. And it's not just Europe, it's players in Australia. It's looking in college. We literally signed Yvonne Ejim because she was like a record breaker in Gonzaga, which isn't, again, the highest level in the world. And we drafted Yvonne Ejim for that reason. We drafted Bree Hall because she's Aaliyah Boston's friend. Like, why did we not just draft Sita Fulter at this stage? Why not just let Caitlin Clark go get an Iowa player? And the way things are going, the only positive is that we might go and draft Hannah Stulke next year. Maybe. But, like, we have to stop saying Caitlin wants to spend her entire career in Indiana. It's like, yeah, I think Caitlin would. And we're like, oh, she won't leave the Midwest. You strongly underestimate how much more Caitlin cares about basketball than anything else. Like, she cares more about basketball than anything else. People are like, oh, but she didn't leave Iowa. Yeah, because Iowa was a good situation for her. She had teammates she respected. She had a coach she respected. And I do think that Caitlin Clark respects Stephanie White as a coach. I think there's frustration. Probably a couple of basketball reason things. But she does respect her as a coach. But, like, I don't want to, like, beat a dead horse with the Kyra Lambert thing. But, like, she hasn't even played remotely close to the WNBA level. Like, the highest level she's played at is, in the last couple of years, is Greek League, which is terrible. Which is just playing empty arenas. And she was asked, how did she prepare for joining the Fever? And we heard that Ari McDonald literally hadn't even practiced with the team as she knew all the Fever sets. She was asked how she prepared for joining the Fever. And she said, and she was literally given the layup, did you watch the team sets? I'm not joking when I say this. She literally answered, I watch a lot of the WNBA and it's the best league in the world. That was the answer. Like, there's just no way. Like, why not Alexis Peterson? There's maybe even not, but there has to be better. There has to be better out there, and maybe I'm wrong. Like, Jalen Sherrod just went to the Lynx. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. At this stage, I would swing for the fences on I would have swung for the fences on Sundell. I don't even like Serena Sundell as a prospect. I don't even know. I got the hype at the time, but, like, Serena Sundell could barely dribble past the halfway line against the Connecticut Sun in preseason. Like, she was terrible. She was absolutely terrible. But I'm just like, for me, I just don't understand how. I don't understand how the Fever are out here signing a player from the Greek League. And you know what? I kind of do understand it because, again, we've talked a little bit about it in another video. When we talked about it in the video earlier, when Stephanie White basically just said that we scout. We scout what was it? We scout based on what we hear. Like, it's relationships and it's they scout based on relationships and clips. And I'm like, the team should literally know. A competent team has player profiles done on every single player that could potentially be needed overseas. You look at players in your roster, you've got 10 backups at each position. And wherever they go, they go. And it's like you've got trade potential, you've got signing potential, you've got a whole bunch of different backups, and you've scouted them all. And the reality is that I just don't know what they're doing. Like, at least it could have been a feel-good factor bringing in TJ McConnell's sister. Because Megan McConnell at least has shown something. Megan McConnell has at least shown something in a couple of minutes. And obviously Megan McConnell at Duquesne was insane. And look, there's no way that this is a better pickup than Megan McConnell. There's no way. And I would be shocked. Like, I wasn't wrong on the Ari one. I said that Ari wouldn't be a good pickup with Caitlin Clark, albeit, or a good player to bring in with Caitlin Clark coming back. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? You know what? I was wrong with Ari. And I can be wrong with Ari and right about some players. And I stand by the fact that the Fever have no idea how to use Chloe Bibby. So she's probably been about an even. As good as she was at start, she's probably been as a net even. But at the end, like, it's just, we're looking at a team who does not have scouts. They didn't read the thread. And people are like, oh, loads of other teams don't. That doesn't make it acceptable. You are supposed to be the premier franchise. You're calling yourself the premier franchise in the league. You're doing all of this stuff, and you're out there, like, only the Liberty have someone listed as a scout. Having a scout on payroll, let alone a dedicated scouting staff, seems to be non-existent in the W. They have 0 scouts, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's non-existent in the WNBA. You were supposed to be different. You were supposed to be different, Indiana. You said you were different. You said that you were a different organization. But you know what you are? You're old WNBA. And that's not a compliment. That's not a compliment. All the teams that have modern approaches. And by the way, Cheryl Reeve is the GM, and you've seen the way she scouts. She was all over Europe in the offseason. So she's definitely seeing all these players. And it's just a shocking one. It's an all-around shocking situation. And I don't envy the position Stephanie White's in this situation. Because, let's be real, the only thing you can expect Stephanie White to do, because they're mid-season, if you're expecting more from Stephanie White, it's okay, do you want Stephanie White just to go out there and... Do you want her just to go out there and start scouting and not coach? You're going to have to use connections. But somebody, as soon as Caitlin Clark went down, somebody should have been trying to figure out some sort of a long-term contingency. And they just took the biggest name available in Ari, who unfortunately got injured. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.